All right, guys, going back.
Both lowering the volume.
No, you are.
What were you doing then?
Hitting skip ad on my laptop.
Yeah. Who decided to put ads, man? We're sellouts. Just kidding. What is going on, Crypto fam? Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. We are coming at you from our studio here in hot as F City, Nevada, a.k.a. Las Vegas. I'm one of your co-hosts, David. Before we get into content, quick disclaimer. Nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please do your own research. That being said, allow me to introduce you to the Squirrel Man himself, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do the live streams. We also do the deep dives and other content. So go check that stuff out. And then, if you could do us a favor, if you have not liked the video yet, we will give you 4 seconds to like the video. Now, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and knock that out too. And then lastly, notification bell. Muchas gracias. And then, how you feeling? How you feeling, bro?
What are you laughing over there?
Now, you know what? The markets are dumping. You know what? We was smelling the 31,000. We was smelling that bull run. I was right behind the bull, and I had a big old whiff of it, bro. And
You are just a jinx. You're a walking jinx. let's do a roll call. Let me do the roll call so I can pronounce people's names correctly.
Make sure you pronounce DFib's name right, because I see
First
him
in the chat.
DFib up in here.
I don't think I was first in chat. Anyways.
But DFib's here. Don't forget
HP.
DFib.
I won't forget DFib.
Okay.
HP Brokioshi. Damn Daniel. Marky Mark. Chef Murder. Hendy. Crypto Junkie. BKG, a.k.a. Bullish Kenny. Who else we got? We got Why You Loud Gang Gang. Our boy DFib. Welcome back, my friend. We missed you. And Jason Squires finally giving me a hellos. What's up, Jason? And I think that's it. Welcome in, you guys. Also, if you found us through BitBoy, welcome to the channel. Please drop a hello in the chat. We would love to personally welcome you to our community and to our channel.
Jason was saying, hola, Big D. And he wasn't talking to you. He was talking about Big DFib. That's who he was talking about. Yeah, that's my boy. Welcome back, baby.
DFib, we miss you, buddy. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
By the way, Robin is an impressive 6 and 1. 6 and 2.
I don't lose much, bro. I don't lose much. You know.
I was surprised with Ben on there. You won.
Your boy got a gift to gab. You know, I got a gift to argue, and
talking out of both ends.
That's right.
Oh man.
We got a Destroyer. New person in the chat. Destroyer. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Welcome, my friend.
Welcome to the most interesting dual co-host
channel
out there. Ain't nobody else doing dual co-hosts like this.
Well, there's a couple people, but they ain't doing it like Sin City does, you know?
But if you had to put a ranking on a 1 to 2 for co-hosts here, definitely number 1 on this side. Hello.
Right. Well, you be the judge of that, my friend, okay?
All right. Real quick, I do want to say for our members here, if you're not familiar with member, there's a member thing where basically you unnecessarily pay $2.99 for a membership.
No, that $2.99 is not. The emojis.
Well, you get emojis. You get emojis. But you know what else you get? You get a members only video, which is finished. I'm going to post it probably about an hour or so after the hour or 2 hours. we'll just say 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock West Coast, Vegas time.
Robin, what is this video going to entail?
It's you follow me around for a day.
Should be
So it's just me. Basically, when I remembered yesterday, I pulled the phone out and started recording stuff. And so I went to the butcher shop, picked up some steaks, lit up the grill. You know, I got a wood fire grill.
Overcooked his ribeyes.
You know, my wife likes medium well. So if you watch the video, don't be over here putting shade on there. You know, she likes medium well. And you know what? Kind of medium well's been growing on me, bro. I went through my whole life doing medium rare.
Okay.
And you know what, man?
All right.
I like a little bit more cooked. It's a little too chewy when it's.
And you're a chef?
I'm just saying,
Don't
man.
tell Gordon Ramsay
Here's
that.
the thing: if it's a fattier cut, of meat, I think at least medium.
Yes.
Because the fat melts away when you cook it, and if you don't cook it long enough, you get that kind of like uncooked fat. It gets chewy. You got to think when fat melts, it adds flavor, and so it helps the steak out. Now, a leaner cut of meat like a filet mignon, maybe even a choice New York strip. But when you get into those well-marbled, heavier cuts of meat, you know, a little more heat does it justice. Got Big Willie Chili Willie up in the chat. What's up, bro? And then
I'm curious if he likes that nickname, Chili Willy.
Hey guys, stick around for more crypto recipes.
Yes, crypto. Sprinkle some ETH on the. Sprinkle ETH on the steak.
And then, yeah, so that's cool. So basically, yeah, if you're a member, then yeah, you'll get exclusive access. It's a members only video.
Yes.
But I'll be honest with you, you're not gonna. If you're not a member, you're not really not missing out on anything. You're just watching me
Hold
go
on,
through
man.
my day here.
I'm excited to watch it. I might have to sign up for a membership to see it.
You don't have membership for our own channel, bro?
No.
Oh yeah, we don't need one. It automatically included there.
Yeah, exactly.
Marky Mark said just received stuff on the mail.
And Destroyer is here from BitBoy's channel. So we do normally hesitate talking about crypto for the first 15 minutes. So just know that we
Not
will
15.
talk about.
It's like less than 10.
At some point, we will get into cryptocurrency news and discussion. When we will do that. Who
Also,
knows?
we have another new person in the chat.
Who else?
Report Insider. RI.
Insider. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. And then here's you know what?
Hold
Here,
on, real quick. Marky Mark.
real quick. Here, I'll give you a little.
Hold on.
What's up?
Marky Mark said he got his stuff in the mail. Make sure you take some pictures, post it on social media, and we will repost. We will retweet.
Here, take a look. Here, this is a little preview. Here, pull up my laptop. It's still in the video editing software, so it's the raw file.
7 a.m. Get the day started.
Say, this me in the morning.
Little boy scratching nose right here.
That's my closet.
Scratchy nose.
That's my. I got a name from that's my closet right there.
Oh, that Raiders game.
Yeah, that's my bird Larry here. Yeah, see, look at him right here. That's my
video
homie
with
right
Larry more there. I like Larry.
there. Yeah, Larry's pretty cool, man.
It's annoying.
Love it, man.
So, anyways, a little peek into my personal life. Giving Larry kisses. Look at that. I want to say my dog, but it's really not my dog. It's my bird. So there you go. All right, let's get into it.
All right.
Without further ado. So where are we at? Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at $29,908.97. And where are we at for the day? Well, we were at the top of this little plateau right here, this little cliff, and we straight tanked. We went all the way down to 29.3. If you're new to the chat, I got my eyeballs on this $1,600 Ethereum. My order's going to fill sometime soon. Now, getting into just a review of where Bitcoin's been at in the last month. Well, no surprise, since the 10th or the 11th of May, we have been in this $31,000 to $29,000 channel. As we discussed yesterday, if you are a swing trader and you simply sell at 30,000 and you buy at 29,000, you have made $1,000 once, twice, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, and now $8,000.
Assuming you have one whole Bitcoin.
Simply, yeah, if you were to invest one Bitcoin and you were to buy one Bitcoin at $30,000 and sell one Bitcoin, or the opposite, buy it at $29,000, sell your one Bitcoin at, what was it? 30. If you were just to do that over the course of the 3 weeks, you don't need to be a TA genius. You don't need to look at charts. You just simply buy and sell. You buy, you got a Bitcoin, you buy it at 29, you sell it at 30. You do that if you can now have done that 8 times in a row, made $8,000. You are now, listen to this, 3.5 times to making your own, another Bitcoin. If you were to just do this, you made $8,000. Multiply that by 3.5, that's the price of one Bitcoin. I'm just saying you're a third of the way. You're a third of the way there to making one Bitcoin simply buying and selling Bitcoin at 30 and 29,000. So obviously the strategy of HODL is the preferred way of growing your wealth.
Well, you can have
Bitcoin.
2 separate accounts, right? You can have your HODL account and your trading account. So.
And at the end of the show, if you're new here, at the end of the show, we do go through TA. We talk about entry and exit positions, overbought and oversold markets, tokens that we're eyeballing that are we think are great times to get in or even out of. So we will get into technical analysis towards the end of the show, but just at face value, with this absolutely predictable price movement in Bitcoin at the moment with this channel that it's in, there is money to be made if you swing trade. Simple as that. So moving on. So we're going to get back into kind of where the rest of the market is. Ethereum, $1,780. Ethereum is losing, it's losing value against Bitcoin slowly. Not anything dramatically. When you get a moment, David, if you could, at some point, if you could pull up a chart, just a Bitcoin ETH pairing, just to verify. But it seems as though, when we were at 30,000, Ethereum was over 18, and I think it was almost at 19,000 at one point. So, or 1,900, excuse me. And so, Ethereum's getting cheaper, basically, where it's at least in comparison to the rest of the market, which is super bullish when you look at the fact that it's going to have its major upgrade coming up soon. So the ETH 2.0 merge rollout, it's going to be a ton of price movement on that thing, man. You're going to be able to make a lot of money there. Cardano, 60 cents in the green, one of the only projects in the green. There are some new news coming out on Cardano, some upgrades and stuff like that. Charles Hoskinson today was discussing the Cynthia Loomis bill. Oh, yeah.
We will discuss it as well.
Yeah, we're going to get into that here in a little later. And we also have a couple new people in the chat here. We got Mo Islam, hola, and Arnold, hola, welcome. Sin City Crypto. Now,
Arnold? My God.
Oh.
Guys,
my bad.
For all the new members, please do not take offense. Robin legitimately has an issue pronouncing names.
That's
it's
what
not
I
personal.
saw here, man.
It's not personal.
The chat is small, bro.
I'm just saying it's not personal, guys. I will pronounce your name correctly, though.
Then XRP under 40 cents. Taking a look at the crypto bubbles.
We've had like 3-4 people in here. Ape Mafia Club.
Yeah, what's going on with Ape Mafia Club? Is there something I'm not, something I missed? I talk a lot of crap about Bored Ape sometimes. Maybe they're in here.
No, you talk crap about Yuga Labs.
Yeah, I like Bored Apes, man. I like Bored Apes. I think they are the premier NFT project. I think they're the gold standard. They're going to be there for a while. Who knows? Maybe somebody will knock them off. I don't know. Either way, I need a Bored Ape in my life. I don't have one, and I should get one. But I don't have $250,000 to drop on one right now. But here's the thing. I just don't like their overreaching ecosystem. It just seems a little sloppy. That's all I'm saying. The rollout could have been a little better. They got some vulnerabilities, so your boy throws shade at them sometimes. So if y'all are here to cash in the receipts and hold me accountable, we can have a discussion. I don't mind arguing. Now, Fear and Greed Index, 15. So extreme fear, but little easier sentiment on the crypto markets than we were, say, a couple days ago when we were all the way down to 10. So when you're in extreme fear, and even just fear in general, it's always it historically has been a good time to buy. So taking a look just at the 1 year, as you can see here, when the prices, remember when we double peaked in our bull market? So when you are greedy and the numbers are super high, not a good time to buy. This is when Bitcoin was over $50,000. So if you were to simply look at this and be like, okay, obviously the markets are greedy. Obviously Bitcoin, would you like to buy Bitcoin at 50,000 or would you like to buy it at 30,000? The obvious answer is you like to buy it at 30,000. So if you just simply buy and sell off of the greed and fear index, and you simply buy at extreme fear, and you simply sell at extreme greed, you know what? I mean, this stuff, it is easy to make money in crypto, man. I mean, we went over simply buying and selling at 30 and 29,000. And the fact that you could have scooped up a third of a Bitcoin over the course of the last 3 weeks, simply buying at 29 and selling at 30. Obviously you have to have a whole Bitcoin in the process, but pretty damn simple. Here, you got the analytics. This thing, I mean, look at the chart. Peak. Same time it peaked, same time it was overpriced. And then here, value straight across. You can zoom this out over the lifetime of Bitcoin, and you can just see these are directly correlated. This is, directly correlated to.
You got to remember, this is also a lagging. I don't know if you want to call it.
It's lagging by a day or two, so it's not. It's not something I would just like FOMO into. I wouldn't wake up one day and be like, bro, we hit an 8 on the extreme fear. I'm selling the house. Like, you know what? You should never use any one piece of analytics to make your strategy. But it should all be, you should have a portfolio of research. You should have a group of different sources that you go to. And, the crypto fear and greed index is not just the price of Bitcoin, where it is and where it was. They do take into account Google Trends, Twitter buzz, and there's a lot of other things. So I don't know exactly how they come up with it, but it's juicy. Now, we got the 32 people in the chat. You know what that means?
I think the number's 33, right?
It's supposed to be 32.
Rocco, what was the number?
It's 32.
I can check right now.
All right. Anyways, when we get to 33 people in the chat, we open up the club here in Las Vegas. We like to have a
Vegas party.
like to have a Vegas party. A couple things we do really well here in Las Vegas. 1, cryptocurrency live show. 2, casinos. 3, nightclubs. And
You said 2 things.
did I say 2? 3?
Keep going.
Whatever. Throw an extra one in there.
Anyways.
That's what happens in Vegas. You get bonuses. Extra spin. How you doing?
What's what are the traditional markets looking like, Ryan?
All right. Now, taking a look at the traditional markets, so pretty flat. We opened up the day. We opened up the day in the red, and so why were the stock markets? And here at Sin City Crypto, if you're new, we do discuss traditional markets. Now, regardless of what other people say, like, well, it's not correlated, and blah, blah, it's just correlated. Okay, the markets move together. Okay, sometimes they deviate. We get it. But you know what? A lot of the big whales, the big investors, the VC funds, they're not all in on crypto. They also have portfolios with stocks. And if you go broke on one side, you're not going to be investing. You're not going to be FOMOing into crypto. Okay, so anyways, they're correlated. Nasdaq, the most correlated because it's tech-driven stocks, a little bit more volatile. Now this is down, up 1/3%. But we woke up today. NASDAQ was down over 1.5%. Why? Because Target, bro. Target done crashed the market. You ever shop at Target? You look like a Target guy. Your wife does?
I look like a Target
Yeah, you look like a Target guy. Like he's over here buying bananas at Target. We're like, stop it. Now.
You leave the bananas out of this, you hear me?
So Target expects squeeze profits from Anyways, I don't even want to read this title.
Read it.
It's a dumb title. Target expects squeeze profits from aggressive plan to get rid of unwanted inventory.
What do you think that unwanted inventory
Okay, this is what happened. They sit on it, but they order too much. You know what? First of all, shame on you, Target. You know what? You got sloppy. If I had a restaurant, okay, here's the thing. If I had a restaurant and I ordered too much food and I was sitting on a bunch of inventory, you know, that's on me, bro. That's on me. I didn't take into account.
Well, they over-ordered because the supply chain was messed up. And now, it's still messed up.
Okay, yeah, the supply chain is all messed up. So anyways, no, what ended up happening is the consumer demand wasn't there. And so they had an excess of groceries, back to school supplies, and so now if you go to Target, you're going to see an expanded clearance section. A lot more discounts because they need to get rid of this stuff. And so that kind of scared the market. They're one of the biggest retailers behind Walmart, and which is interesting because not only do you have this, but you also have Citibank putting their thoughts into what are you looking at me? You mad I highlighted everything, huh?
Yeah, like what
I highlight everything, bro. This whole thing is highlighted.
Highlight yourself, too.
Yeah, that's right. Now, so Citibank's coming out. They're saying there's a shortage. They're basically saying, like, hey, man, this supply chain thing, we thought it was going to ease up. Nah, not today, playa. Now, shortages of semiconductors, car parts, key items that flow through supply chains are likely to remain for the foreseeable future. Bottom line is that we find supply chain pressures have proved to be more persistent and apparently deep-rooted than we expected a few months ago. And they also they say that Ukraine conflict seems to further amplifying the stresses. So.
Okay, so I'm going to make the statement, but before I say it, I'm not insinuating that there's ever a good time for war, but that was like the worst timing for Russia to invade Ukraine.
Well, natural global events just so happen to come at the wrong times, right? I mean, if you look at
there's
history,
never a right time.
Yeah, I mean, you look at other pandemics throughout history; they happen to coincide with different big events. So, I'm just saying that
it's a weird. I mean, we're gonna.
I mean, you see it in the crypto market too.
Yeah.
You see the markets kind of snowballing. You get the China ban, and then you get Elon trying to go on SNL acting all weird, and then you get all kinds of stuff. So, anyways, when things go bad, they go bad.
Yeah,
they snowball.
We're gonna I think we're gonna look back 10 years from now. This is gonna be one of the 2020s will be one of the weirdest decades, I think, in human history that anyone could remember. I mean, just now we're living in it, so we can't appreciate it, or we don't understand the magnitude of what we're going through. But when we look back, we're gonna be like, holy moly, man.
You know what?
Everything that happened, and then look where we are now.
So we got somebody new here. DJ Karma. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
DJ Karma. He's a
DJ?
I don't know, but yeah.
Oh, a DJ. DJ or DJ? We're going to call you DJ Karma.
My God.
That's your new name.
He's been here before. He or she. DJ Kamal.
Oh, is it Kamal? I literally thought it was Kamal.
You know what, Rocco, should I take over the Olas in the chats here?
You are not forbidden from saying Ola. Don't you do it. Use your weird Armenian language. Yeah. Now.
All right, Portugal. All right. Are you done?
Also, HP says he's got the receipts. We hit 33, baby. Let's do it.
We hit Studio 30. Where did we hit 33?
He got the receipts, bro. I believe you. You calling him a liar?
No, I'm not calling him a liar. I'm saying, where did we hit 33?
I don't know. We hit 33. Open this bitch up. What is going on? Boy over here having a seizure.
Being the opposite of Robin, where I can look at myself and say, wow, maybe I need improvement in my dance.
The boy got sweet ass dance moves. Get out of here.
All right.
So anyways, we like to celebrate the growth here because you know what? We launched this channel back in December last year. So we young, we growing, and we celebrate, man. And we like to have fun here, man. This ain't no Coin Bureau. We love Coin Bureau. They have amazing insight. We use Coin Bureau for reference. Well, let's be honest.
Well, look, every channel has their niche, okay?
Oh man, they're good, man. It's like I'm not gonna bash libraries. Libraries are useful.
Are you calling Coin
I'm just
Bureau
saying
a
it's a
library?
wealth of knowledge. Every city needs a library. It is a go-to place for information.
Look, his stuff is really good.
But do you want to go hang out in a library?
Well, here's the thing.
Are you gonna take a date to the library? No.
I'll go to
bringing a
Sin
date to
City.
Sin
you
City
know?
Crypto, that's
Yeah, I go to Sin City, you know?
man.
All the comms, you know, all the stuff. I go to the...
You know what? I was thinking to this morning.
Please, let's talk crypto.
Okay, what I was thinking is
Make it
this is my
fast.
last
Make
thing.
it
My last
quick.
thing.
Okay.
Is that I wanted to take a field trip. My people in Vegas. If y'all want to go see Top Gun, my wife refuses to go watch Top Gun.
I've heard it's a really good movie.
I know I want to go watch it, and I was gonna go watch it with Charles, but he doesn't want to go. I guess. So, anyways, yeah,
Charles.
let's get into crypto.
All right,
hot
let's
take.
go. Hot take.
It's hot.
So the topic we're talking about today was in our thumbnail, was also in our title. So here we go. Let's pull up my laptop here. Bad day for Binance with SEC investigation and the Reuters expose. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is investigating whether Binance Holdings broke securities rules when it launched its BNB token in an ICO 5 years ago. 5 years ago.
This is
now,
a running thing, waiting forever.
dude, the BNB ICO took place in July of 2017 on several platforms during the height of the so-called ICO boom, and the Binance exchange opened just days afterward.
That's like finding out somebody cheated on you, and then bringing
Aren't
it
there
up 5 years
statute of
later.
limitations or something, man?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Be like, I saw you talking to that girl and when I went to the bathroom.
Like, bro, that was 20 years ago.
Exactly.
CZ said in 2020 that the wording of the original BNB white paper was changed in 2019 because, quote, the potential for being misunderstood as a security is higher in certain regions. Binance is already the object of several U.S. federal investigations, including another SEC probe. The U.S. CFTC began an investigation in the exchange's trading practices last year. Binance Markets, its UK branch, was ordered by the Financial Conduct Authority to cease activities in that country after review of its operations last year. Additionally, they were ordered to cease operations in Ontario last June. So Binance, are they the black sheep? That's not the hot take. The hot take is this. Will BNB be forced to list as a security? Remember what BlockFi did? Took a settlement. They registered their interest earning program as a security with the SEC. So I want you to elaborate on a few things. I want you to elaborate on, will they be forced to list? What implication will it have for the rest of the market? And more specifically, what implications will it pose to the XRP lawsuit currently going on with the SEC? Robin, go ahead.
Okay. Now, there's no reason you can't go after two, say, cryptocurrencies at the same time. So because right now you have the lawsuit with XRP, there's nothing stopping the SEC from filing another lawsuit for the exact same premise as BNB. Now, however, I find it unlikely for the simple fact that whatever the case is deemed or whatever the outcome ends up being for XRP, we're going to assume it's going to be a settlement or perhaps a verdict that goes towards Ripple Labs' favor. I mean, we don't know. And that seems to be the direction, but I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know. And so there's nothing stopping them from going after BNB. And my question is, why the hell are y'all waiting so long, man? That's my curiosity, and I get it.
Well, Robin, they have to do due diligence.
All government.
Do you think
really
government
goes,
just
like,
rushes to make bills, Robin?
I know. I get that.
That was a joke.
I know what I'm saying. I understand that, going through the judicial process, going through government, going through registration with exchanges and, evaluating if something's a security or not. I get it. It's not a quick process. But 5 years is a little crazy. I mean, you had in 5 years you put different chairs into, different people run the organization.
That's a good point.
At that point, like if you have the time to change leadership, you got the time to make a judgment call on something and not wait 5 years. Because at that point, the ecosystem has grown so much.
And especially when your previous chairs or commissioners were sitting here saying these are not securities, these are commodities or whatever they were saying.
So it's the problem is when you wait, you're letting something grow and become something larger. And so then when you go in after the fact, when you wait 5 years to then regulate, now you have a lot of people that are at risk for losing money. All of the companies that run dApps that are on top of the BNB chain, for example, all of the people that are staking or holding or putting large investments, all the venture capital funds that are not only invested in Binance Smart Chain, but also are invested on the dApps on top of it. I mean, think about venture capital funds that are invested in PancakeSwap. I mean, just think what would happen if the same crackdown, if a lawsuit deeming BNB to be a security, which we're right there at the cusp of that, what would happen to the BNB token? It would be delisted in the same way that XRP is. What would happen to PancakeSwap? Gone. What would happen to everything on that entire ecosystem? Would all be gone, and all of the investors therefore would lose money for just that simple fact. And you would be out. You would be blacklisted from trading or using, or basically the chain would be dead until the thing is over. Let's be real. No banks are using XRP right now, right?
Right.
They might be making partnerships. Yeah, they might be making partnerships. They might still be making deals. They might still be growing the ecosystem. They're still growing the chain. I'm not saying that the project is dead. I'm just saying from the fundamental growth with institution and taking their chain to the next level and integrating it into the financial sector, it is on pause because the SEC is dragging their feet with the extremely too long, man. Too long. It was 2021, like the beginning of 2021 when this happened. And we're now in 2022. It's probably not going to resolve till 2023. And then come 2023, they're probably going to pull an Ethereum and be like, yeah, this thing ain't going.
This is literally the same thing they took XRP to
exactly.
Right? Okay, exactly. So here's my thinking, all right? Why, when you're in a landmark case, right, like SEC versus XRP, and unless you know it's going your way, why would you do the same thing to another chain, to another cryptocurrency?
Because I don't care.
Does this mean it could mean they know they're going to lose XRP? Look at the mistakes we made, and let's try it with BNB. Or they know
that's a good point.
We're going to win this case, so we're just going to one by one, bam, 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 bam. We have 3, 4, 5 cases we win, and then we just blanket everything as a security.
Now, if XRP ends up losing that case, holy crap.
Yeah, that would be...
But the opposite would happen. And so if there is... But here's the problem. If XRP settles, it changes nothing.
Exactly.
If XRP settles, it changes nothing. Okay, let's just say XRP settles, it changes nothing. Because why do you settle? Because you're at some form or some percentage, you're taking culpability or you're taking guilt, right?
Or you're running out of money.
No, I'm just saying, in the eyes of the law, you're settling because you're like, okay, right. I did something wrong. Here's some money. And in the same way that, like, if you killed somebody, you're not going to ever admit to it because you're not culpable for it. I mean, there are instances where people, they're sitting there and they confess to something they didn't do. But generally speaking, if you're innocent of a crime, you're just going to keep denying it. You're not going to take any culpability. Now, if you are guilty of a crime, let's say you stole something and then they're like, yo, you're about to face 10, 15, 30 years in prison, but we can just settle, and you do 2 years.
Ripple already said they won't settle unless there is clarification.
Yeah. Now, so initially when this court case first came out, they were talking about settlement. It's always on the table. And now Ripple Labs came out adamantly saying, hey, we ain't settling. At this point, we've already been drugged through the mud. We're going to take this to the end. But don't get it twisted. They might say that. They will still settle. Like, in in a judicial format, if you can save yourself billions of dollars and you can just get this thing over with and you can settle for something that, you know, is favorable, it will settle. Don't get it twisted.
I don't know.
Now, I don't think they will, but I'm just saying that the likelihood is there.
If XRP settles, I think that would be a win for the SEC.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they can go
Because it stops
against everybody.
Because then they file the next lawsuit.
Yeah.
They go after BNB because they're not setting any precedents. So
Right.
the thing is you can't go to the next court case. Now let's just say XRP wins or Ripple Labs wins. Then BNB can be like, yo, they hold no merit. Take a look at this
Right.
court case, and we can use this as an example. Boom, boom, boom. We don't need to go through the whole process. Boom, over. They settle. Can't do that.
Right.
Basically, they just.
So do you think BNB is?
Almost.
What do you think Binance is going to do? You think they're going to fight back?
Well, the thing is they haven't filed a lawsuit, and so what was the article? They're probing
Investigating.
them, right? Investigating. Now, there's been already an investigation on Binance. They're not even allowed to use. You're not even allowed to use Binance here in the U.S. So the Binance.us is a separate company, a separate branch, a separate CEO, a separate trading platform, separate order books. So essentially, they're just using the parent name, and they're just completely separate. And so they're going after not Binance.us because we all have access to it. They're going after the smart chain and the ICO token launch. And yeah, that's it, man. Will they sue them? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to file a lawsuit until this thing is done. I think right now they're preparing though.
Like it.
Right? I mean, right now what they're doing.
I'm just thinking about, you know, Gary Gensler coming out and saying, we don't have enough people. We need to hire more people. And they're over
He
here.
actually came out and said he need more money.
That's what I'm saying. More
He
money,
asked
more
for more
people,
money.
more resources. So
Yes.
you're
for-
over here.
for just the department in general.
Yeah.
He said he need more money.
Especially
to,
for crypto specifically. It's just funny. You're over here investigating another ICO and you're literally wasting or using resources in this lawsuit against XRP. I just think it's so ass backwards.
Just got
And
$100
like
million
Robin
from
Right,
from
and like
BlockFi.
Robin mentioned, how many people, developers, investors, people that use these dApps have money tied into the Binance Smart Chain? And if you come in there and you wipe them out, are you really, you know? Like,
Binance is the number one exchange. Number one. As far as volume and trading activity. And they've been number one for a long ass time. And the fact that you're waited 5 years, why didn't you just say something when they first launched the token? It's not like they were a nobody. You know, I get it if all of a sudden we want to launch a Sin City crypto token. I get it. SEC ain't going to care about us. You know, they're going to be like, whatever. But if we happen to grow into a top 20 project, they might be like, who are these guys? Where do they come from? Whatever it is. Maybe let's look into it. That I would kind of understand waiting after the fact. But however, Binance is a top player right from the rip. And so it's not, you know what I mean? Like when Facebook wanted to launch their own token, the DM token.
yeah, they got Wamboozled.
Instantly, they're like, oh, no,
Yeah.
you too big for this. You too big for this. Why didn't they do that with Binance?
Yeah. I don't trust government, period. So I always look at it
I don't
from,
trust the SEC, man.
Oh, yeah. Gary the Gun letting us down once again.
Oh, Gary the
Shitting
Gun.
on our dreams. All right, we're done. Let's move on. Talking points. So obviously, we're gonna open up our talking points segment with probably outside of Binance. Well, you could say this is probably the biggest news. Senator Lummis. It's Lummis, by the way, not Loomis. I used to say Loomis, but it's Lummis. With a co-sponsored bill. So Lummis is a Republican. Kirsten Gillibrand from New York is a senator. She's a Democrat. So this is a bipartisan bill, co-sponsored, to introduce landmark legislation to create regulatory framework for digital assets. Now, I didn't have time to comb through the entire bill, but on the Cynthia Lummis website, she breaks it down. So, Rocco, you want to pull up my laptop? A few things highlighted I want to talk about. The bill makes a clear distinction between digital assets that are securities and commodities by looking at the purpose of the asset and the rights or powers it conveys to consumer. You want to add anything to this? I feel like we should go line by line here. The bill makes a clear distinction between digital assets that are securities and commodities by looking at the purpose of the asset and the rights or powers it conveys to the consumer. This kind of sounds like proof of stake when it comes to rights or powers or anything as far as delegating or voting or governance. That's what it sounds like to me. It's a pretty vague statement, but I'm sure, because I'm going to go home when I'm done. I'm going to go home and I'm going to read the entire bill. That's just my, what do you think, Rob? Do you think that's kind of what they're referring to here? By looking at the purpose of the asset and the rights or powers it conveys the consumer.
I think, you know, what we were just discussing is a direct problem that is solved by simply clarifying what's a security and commodity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Binance wouldn't be in this situation. Ripple Labs wouldn't be in this situation. And all of the other tokens that are being put on hold and not listed on, say, Coinbase and American exchanges for the simple fact that, like, well, it could be a security, so we're not going to list it. And so we got the brakes on. America's got the brakes on because we have the stock exchange and you have Wall Street. And at Wall Street, they have publicly traded companies where you can own a piece of the company by buying stock, aka securities. And then you have cryptocurrencies, which offer tokens, which give you a part ownership of the chain. Very similar to stocks. But because there's similarities, you want to over here and you want to regulate one, but there's no clear-cut definition between one and the other. And so at some point, you got to sit down and write this down.
Well, it says the bill makes a clear distinction.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
at some point, you need something, a piece of paper, because the Howey test ain't doing it, bro. You got 5 things that are all hella murky and be like, well, you know, the Howey test, you know, the third one is that it's sufficiently decentralized and this and, you know, exactly, you know, how much time it's been. Like, bro, stop it. Just give me a piece of paper, write the rules down, and then when I check the boxes, cool, I'm a commodity. When I check the boxes, cool, I'm a security. And let's just lay this out on the table. Because this is where the problem has started, and this is where the problem is always gonna be until there is clear-cut
guidelines.
There it is. There it is.
I agree. Now this next part, I am extremely bullish on. Assigns regulatory authority over digital asset spot markets to the much more pro-crypto CFTC. Understanding that most digital assets are much more similar to commodities and securities, the bill gives the CFTC clear authority over applicable digital asset spot markets, which aligns well with their current purview over the other commodity markets. Digital assets that meet the definition of a commodity, such as Bitcoin and Ether, will be regulated by the CFTC. To me, this is the most exciting part of this bill. Now, guys, remember, this is just a proposed bill. Still has to get voted on. Still has to get signed off by the president. So we got a long way to go. But, wow. What would happen if the CFTC could issue spot ETFs?
Well, you know, I think what it is, and I'm no expert on this. I think what it is that the CFTC is going to give the green light for something to be a spot ETF. And how they give a green light, the CFTC literally stands for commodities. And the C does. I'm just saying.
Yes.
You know, it's commodities, futures trading commission. Yeah. Anyways, so you deem something a commodity, cool, green light, boom, there. If you deem it a security, then you hand that over to the SEC.
Hand it over to Gary.
You hand it over to Gary. Like, Gary, this guy, you know what I mean? Like, imagine you going into a club, be like, you can money. You Go stand in that line over there with the peasants. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it is in Vegas. There's 2 lines in Vegas. You go to a nightclub in Vegas, there's 2 lines.
There's the $100 handshake line. And
Yeah,
then
there's a $100
the,
handshake line, just like the SEC. You walk up, you're like, hey, man, what's up, my bro? Good to see you. Handshake,
Here,
handshake.
go get some ramen. You know what I'm saying?
So, you got that line. That line, basically, you get in, you're approved, you're a commodity. And at that point, go ahead, list them on the exchange. You want to do a spot Bitcoin ETF? You want to do a spot Ethereum ETF? Cool, let's go. Let me
ask you this question.
Everybody else, stand in the line. That's the security, and then you can make a debate. You can be over here with the bouncer, be like, "Hey man, but I know the DJ." Be like,
Let me ask you this question, Robin. So first, do you think that Bitcoin and ETH were labeled commodities because they're proof of work?
No. They're labeled commodities because there's no head of the organization. There's no CEO. Now, you can say Ethereum has Vitalik, but at this point, Vitalik can't turn his computer on and take everybody's Ethereum. He can't just go and shut down the network.
Well, you can say that about a lot of other projects too.
But no, with this, yeah, you can, exactly. That's why this is murky waters. That's why you have some that are deemed securities. But then there's other chains where there is a clear-cut founder, owner, CEO, Solana, and they can be turned on and off. They can be adjusted and manipulated in the same way that you have a company that can be adjusted, manipulated, change the direction, and all of that. And so for that, in that sense, it is more like a company with publicly traded stocks, right? A share of the company, and you have an owner making decisions. And if you look at Ethereum and Bitcoin, there is no CEO, there's no board member, and it's a software that lives on the internet. And that's all it is. And if you want to partake in that system, you can buy and sell tokens or hodl them or use them for transactions, whatever the hell you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's a separate entity that has nobody running it, and it's just a protocol. And that's it. And so for that reason, it's a commodity. And what is a commodity? A commodity is an asset or a piece of property. Piece of gold is commodity. Silver, a barrel of oil. Those are all commodities. If I own a barrel of oil and I decide to hold it for 100 years and then take my barrel of oil to Brazil and sell it in Brazil, it will still sell as a barrel of oil. Doesn't matter what their exchange says. It doesn't matter what the SEC says. If I want to sell my barrel of oil, I'm going to get the fair market price for a barrel of oil. The same can be said for an ounce of gold. If I have an ounce of gold today, whatever the hell it's worth today it's still going to be worth an ounce of gold 100 years from now. It'll be worth an ounce of gold, the fair market value, whether it's sold here in the U.S. or it's sold in Australia. That's the price of gold. That's a commodity. The same thing can be said about Bitcoin and Ethereum. And at this point, nobody controls the price or the project. It's a commodity.
Okay, fair enough. But I think we all agree that if the CFTC is in charge of granting spot ETFs, we will see a spot ETF. I want to say maybe a few weeks after this bill gets put into effect.
Don't forget about the executive orders, though. So you got you got two big interests coming out of the United States government. One, you got this bill proposal. You also got the executive order. These are two titans of regulation, I guess, or at least clarity, roadmap of crypto. They're going to butt heads. And then in turn, they're going to smash together and create just like
CFTEC.
The CFTCSEC. Lots of more letters in there.
You ruined it. The CFTEC was better.
CFTEC.
We'll see. You know, listen, every branch is power hungry, right? The Senate wants more power. The House wants more power. SEC wants more power. The CFTC wants more power. On and on and on. There's always going to be this tug of war. That is why we need bills like this who say, all right, if it fits into this aisle, this is your area. If it fits in this aisle, this is your area. Now shut the hell up and go do something. All right. This next segment of the bill talks about stablecoins. It establishes this bill would establish 100% reserve, asset type, and detailed disclosure requirements for all payment stablecoin issuers. The bill also sets forth a detailed optional framework for all banks and credit unions to issue payment stablecoins. So, not only, well, by the way, I think everyone agrees with the first part, right? If you say you're dollar to dollar, you got to be 100% dollar for dollar.
But do you agree with the current model we have now, where you're holding debt that's dollar value?
I think if that's the case, it has to be capped at a certain percentage.
Okay.
I think at least 85 to 90% should be dollar, liquid cash, right? And the rest could be bonds, commercial paper, or whatever else you want. So, what are your thoughts on framework to allow all banks and credit unions to be able to issue stablecoins?
I mean, it makes sense at face value. Okay, here's the thing. There's two worlds of stablecoins. You have your traditional stablecoin, which is run by a company or maybe even a central bank digital currency.
Think USDC.
So those, I think, should be represented dollar to dollar. Algorithmic stablecoins, I just don't want to see I don't want to see that idea get crushed and squeezed and burnt up. And yes, the Terra Luna collapse left a stain on the algorithmic stablecoin.
They made a lot of mistakes, though. They made a lot of mistakes.
And the track record of algorithmic stablecoins is not good. It's been failure after failure after failure. And I'll tell you what, I want no parts of that as far as with my portfolio. I want none of my cash in algorithmic stablecoins. However, that is the future. And when somebody finally figures out that damn algorithm, when you finally figure out the proper code with the proper collateral or whatever the hell you got to do,
mechanism.
When you figure that out and you remove big companies from controlling stablecoins and you remove nation states from controlling stablecoins and you have the power to purchase, hold a dollar-backed stablecoin, whatever you want to, a dollar value stablecoin, then at that point, you can truly purchase and act in a decentralized way because nobody's controlling it. And I can go in and I can live my life unplugged from the financial system. And until you get that algorithmic stablecoin, you'll never be unplugged because somebody will control something.
Right.
And now here's an even bigger question.
Yes.
Is it okay? Do you even want to completely unplug? Because you know what? I don't want to live off the grid, like as an example. Some people are like, well, I want to live off the grid, have my own power, and fish my own food.
Well, here's
like,
the thing. If you have both options, right?
Yeah.
Some people want to unplug. Go ahead, use an algo stablecoin. Some people don't. They don't care. Use traditional stablecoin.
I'm just saying that I hope the regulation doesn't get to a point to where it just squashes the algorithmic stablecoin innovation.
Well, Robin, I just want you to know that was the perfect segue to the next segment of this bill.
Like yellow squash?
No, like
green squash?
Algo stablecoin.
Pumpkin squash?
So the next segment, and I believe this is the last one we're going to talk about, yes, talks about providing a regulatory sandbox for state and federal regulators to collaborate on innovative financial technologies. The two senators create a joint structure in which federal and state regulators collaborate with fintech companies to permit them to introduce innovative products into the market on a limited basis, allowing regulators to become more familiar with financial technology products in a controlled environment, and to participate in the consumer education and financial literacy work that is important to help them engage safely with the market. So if you remember, I forget which senator or someone in Congress said, it was Hester Pierce from the SEC commissioner. She's known as a crypto mom. She came out and said, we got to be careful because if we shun UST, which was the first, at the moment, successfully adopted algo stablecoin, if we just say all algo stablecoins are illegal, you are hampering innovation. And so she made that clear. We shouldn't do that. We should allow for people to try new things. That's how you innovate. That's how you grow. That's how you stay competitive, not just in the US, but on a global stage. And so this part of the bill, to me, is great. It says, hey, instead of looking at UST and saying algo stablecoins are bad, let's create a sandbox, right? A small sample size, just like when Chipotle, right? The fast food store.
Leave Chipotle out of here.
Just like Chipotle comes out with a new product, right? They don't just automatically start offering it at every single Chipotle across the nation. They start in a small market. They see how it goes. They expand, and then eventually, if it goes good, they'll get all the way it'll get all the way nationwide. Same thing with this. If you allow people to innovate, to try new things, and understand and know that there will be problems, there will be issues, but create a small little box, sandbox they call it, where you can experiment, try new things, stay innovative without the fear of being probed, filed lawsuits against, and it could be under the regulation of the government. So, and then everyone can learn from it, and we move forward. I think this is great, Robin.
I agree.
Huh.
No, yeah. You know what? Federal government, federal agencies, especially when it comes with bank. I mean, you look at what banks do. Banks are intertwined with the federal government, both the Fed and with U.S. policymakers, right?
Yeah.
Just they go hand in hand. You pretty much can't do anything as a bank without running it by the Fed, right?
Right. Yeah.
So if we're going to, and whether you like it or not, if you're going to offer banking services for crypto and you want this thing to grow and be massively adopted, well, you're going to need to integrate with the federal government. And so why not iron this thing out and lay a roadmap out now instead of later?
I agree.
There you go. Why does everybody want me to do story time?
I don't know, but I am about to drop a link to the...
Yeah, somebody.
Go ahead. Do it. If you got a story time, go ahead, because I'm going to drop a link to the bill.
I don't have a story time.
No? What? Whoa, what? You're out of stories? What about this one time at band camp?
Band camp? Yeah. I don't know.
Robin doesn't have story time.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
That's Rocco. You're hired.
Oh man. So
People want the story.
so one time I was skipping school, right? And anyways, so I got a pickup truck, and me and a buddy we go out to the park. Don't ask me why. So we're at the park, and as we're leaving, two guys leave school. We're like, "Where are y'all going?" We're like, "Oh, we're skipping school, bro. We're going to the park." They're like, "Can we go?" We're like, "Sure." So these two guys hop in the back of the truck, and the guy I was riding with, or the guy in the front seat, my buddy, he was like, he smoked cigarettes, and the guys in the back kept asking for cigarettes. He's like, "Man, these guys always ask me for cigarettes." And it just happened to be right after 4th of July, so we had some firecrackers in the front. So, you know, us being high school students, take the tobacco out of the cigarette, put a firecracker in there, put a little tobacco on top, and then we get out to the park. First thing we do, we get out of the car, and of course, clockwork. Guys in the back like, "Hey man, can I borrow a cigarette?" And my boy's like, "Yes, you can." Yeah. So anyways, dude lights up the freaking cigarette, and just like a cartoon, man, the thing pops, blows up. He's got like a shredded cigarette in his mouth, face all half burnt. He's just like,
A shredded cigarette.
yeah, man. And he had no idea what happened. He's like, what happened, man? What happened? And they're like, "Yo, cigarette blew up," and we were just over here laughing. Anyways, so unbeknownst to us, somebody at the park called the cops on us because we throwing fireworks, quote unquote.
I got a
at the
park story, park story.
And so we out here running around the park. Me and one of the guys, we ditched the other two guys. We're like, "Yeah, let's get away from them." And then we get back to the car, and the cops are there. And cops are like, "Yo, y'all been throwing fireworks?" I'm like, and they're like, "Aren't y'all supposed to be at school?" Anyways, they escort us back to school. We get in the truck, and then the two guys that we ditched are laying in the back of the truck. And they're like this. And they're like, "Are the cops gone?" I'm like, "Bro." I'm like, "The cops are following me back to school." And anyways, so we get back, we on the way to school. I'm hella nervous. I got two people in the back of the truck. Then I get in a car accident. I rear end somebody because I was hella nervous, and then the cop is like,
How old are you?
I was at 18 or 17. So
Last week.
the cops escorted me back to school for throwing fireworks at the park, and then I get a car accident and I rear end the person, and the person I rear ended was old and he didn't stop, so he just kept driving, and the cop went over there to go pull him over. So what did I do? I just peeled out, bro. I left and went home, baby.
That's terrible. You know, I have a park police story, but it's NSFW, so I will not be sharing that.
Oh, you got freaky at the park?
Can't go into
You
details.
dirty dog.
Dirty dog. Sean said, I love Rob's stories. All these stories need to be compiled and stored by the Library of Congress.
Why don't we store them on the blockchain?
We should. All right, let's move on. Australia news. Because the first ETFs went so good, right? It went massive success. $1 million in volume. 2 more ETFs launched on Australian markets.
James Wheeler says he doesn't.
Stop ruining his nickname, man. It's a good one, please. Wheelin' Dealin' James Wheeler.
Okay.
Thank you. God.
Yeah. Wheeling dealing.
Got your back, James. Where's the link? Don't see it. Try to refresh the stream, James. Close it out and hop back in. It should be in the description. Going on to the article, a further 2 cryptocurrency-backed ETFs have launched on the Cboe Australia exchange on Monday, bringing the total amount of crypto ETFs available to Australian traders to 6. The 3IQ CoinShares Bitcoin Feeder ETF and the same for Ether ETF are the ones that are just been launched. The underlying assets of the Canadian ETFs are holdings of Bitcoin and ETH that are held in cold storage by Gemini. Talks about the other 3 ETFs, 21 shares, and then you had the Cosmos one that was Ether-backed. Funds issued by the 21 shares are backed by Bitcoin and Ether reserves held in cold storage by Coinbase. So, interesting. 6 ETFs, 2 of them, the assets are held on Coinbase. 2 of them, the assets are held on Gemini. So, de-risking maybe, or spreading the risk. And then I think that's all I got. But here's and these new ETFs are supposed to be lower in fees, coming in at 1.2 expense ratio, and the previous ones are at 1.25. Now here's the thing. The 3 original ones only saw 1.3 million in volume when they were expected to see 1 billion. So extremely underperforming, extremely not good. Forget the word. And then this one, 73,000 and 73,000 for a total of 147,000, much smaller than its competitors. So I'm just like, Australia doesn't care. You know who cares? The USA cares. How the hell does Australia have 6 spot ETFs? 3 Bitcoin, 3 Ethereum, and we can't get one. We can't get one. Our northern amigos.
We got some futures ones. The longer we wait, the further we fall behind. So I'm glad to see the Ethereum ones launching though. I mean,
I know, but
because it was the Bitcoin thing for so long.
147,000 in volume. What? That's terrible. That's what one miner made on ETH 10 minutes ago.
It's still good though. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. And you know what's going to happen when there's an ETF launching in
Australia. They don't
the
care.
US. It's going to be huge, but you got to lay the groundwork first. You got to at least have examples for when the legislation starts, so that way when you're discussing it, you can be like, well, look, Australia has this. They have all of these. Canada has ETF. Brazil has it. And so even if the volume is not there, at least you can point to someone else and be like, look, they're already doing it. It's the same way that, you're over here talking to your mom and be like, can I go to, to the concert? Be like, no. Be like, well, Johnny's going, his mom let him go. Fred's going, his mom let him go. And you know what I mean? The more people you can point to, the more case you build.
Okay. If you talk about, here's what I don't get. You talk about volatility, risk of losing money. Las Vegas was literally built on people coming here and risking their money on volatile slot machines. Right or wrong? That was not a rhetorical question. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
So, at least with this one, I did some research. I spent my time. I learned about Bitcoin and Ethereum. I decided I want to risk my money into this investment product, just like I risked my $100 bill that I put in the video Keno machine. But at the end of it, if I make something, it's a substantial amount. Versus casino, you have an 8% chance every single time you hit the button of winning. Like, it's getting old, man. It's getting old, and it makes us seem like a third world country. We're supposed to be the global leader, the leader in innovation, the leader in competition and trade and this and that. And we can't get a freaking ETF, a spot ETF pass. You got Australia's got 6, Canada's got a few.
Well, I mean, we're laying the groundwork. I mean, we have the bill.
Yeah. By the time we lay the groundwork, China and North Korea will have a spot ETF.
You have the bill coming out. So I mean, it's going in the right direction. You know, I mean,
yeah,
there's movement. It's just not fast.
Yeah, the movement's great. By the time the movement happens, we'll be 80 years old.
It's coming, man. It's coming, man. You know what? It doesn't really matter. We're in a bear market right now, anyways. You know what?
Of course, that would literally
no, exactly. You know what? The same way that everything kind of snowballs downward, things go. You know, things pile up on the other direction as well. So you might, you know, as soon as they're coming out of this this recession thing, probably be about the same time that, you know, you're going to have all these other upgrades and different things going on, and maybe we'll start helicoptering money out of the skies again here in the U.S. And
you leave helicopters out.
Yeah, the U.S. airdrop.
All right, let's move on. New crypto regulations in Japan could allow authorities to seize stolen digital assets. Now, well, it's highlighted, so I'm not going to say it. A local Japanese paper noted that the country's Ministry of Justice is considering a proposal to confiscate illegally acquired crypto assets to put a stop to organized crimes in the virtual domain, which will, in return, treat virtual assets akin to real property, movables, and monetary claims. And you got to remember, Japan has been emerging as a pro-regulation economy. Just last week, they became the first significant economy to pass a bill for investor protection when it comes to risks of stablecoins. In addition, their financial services agency is also expected to introduce new regulations for stablecoin issuers soon. They also, Binance, I believe it was, FTX finally broke into their economy as far as being able to have their exchange be operational in Japan, and they see it as a $1 trillion market size, a market opportunity for them. So is this like, are they setting a precedence? Should they be considered? Should stolen digital assets be considered property? And should people be able to sue? The government should be able to seize those? Is Japan onto something, or Robin? What do you think?
I mean, you're gonna seize it. You don't have the key anyway.
I mean,
here's the thing: if you're gonna integrate with the federal government, and if they find that you did something illegal and they want to hold you accountable, I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be ways. Here's the thing. The same way that you go to civil court and the judge says you owe $2 million, the judge isn't going to like take the money out of your bank account. Now they can, yeah.
They can.
But here's the thing. First, they hold you liable. So before they start deducting it out of your account, you have to miss the payments. In the same way that if you have child support, it's not like the child, if you agree to child support, they don't automatically take it out of your bank account. Right. You're just required to pay it. And if you have a failure to pay, that point, they can come out and just automatically take it out of it, and they can, get into your bank account that way. So if you're trading illegally, or you are doing something that the government says is they want to take funds from you, I would just assume they would hold you liable and be like, hey, you need to pay this. And in the same way that you owe money to the IRS, if you don't pay them, what happens? You go to jail. Right. And so I could see somebody owing, say, $2 or $5 million to the U.S. government, because of some shady crypto thing. And if you don't pay up, maybe you get locked up. Maybe that's the route you go. Because you know what you can't do? Get into somebody's private wallet if they don't give you access. That's just the facts. And if that's the facts, what are the ways around it? I'll throw your ass in jail. How about that?
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But looks like Japan's kind of trying to get in front of it. We'll see if other countries like the U.S. will follow suit. All right, let's move on. So some interesting NFT news. Romania plans to use NFTs to decrease bureaucracy. Everybody dreads going to the DMV. Romania might have the answer to this, and it involves the use of NFTs. They are planning to create an institutional NFT marketplace that, according to the ICI director, would evolve the collaboration between citizens and institutions using a modern digital framework. Citizens will be able to utilize existing NFT technologies to access, transfer, and store official documents safely and securely on a digital ledger, an NFT. Some of these items could be birth certificates, driver's licenses, land or property deeds. Once fully rolled out, Romanian citizens will then be able to have NFT equivalents of all their important documents stored in one convenient digital location. The Romanian government is working closely with Elrond to make this possible. By the way, I've been doing some TA on Elrond. Some good news for Elrond. If you're an Elrond fan, stay tuned for that. Robin, we've been talking about, or you've been talking about, well, we've both been talking about. I remember a conversation I had with a gentleman. He said, NFTs are only used to launder money. And they're only stupid profile pics that I can right-click and save. I'm like, yeah, okay, you have zero idea what NFTs can do.
Was that Richard Hart?
No. Richard Hart. This is an example of why NFTs aren't just profile pics, why NFTs aren't just a bored ape or a duck or a gorilla, whatever, anything.
People forget to realize what the term NFT stands for. Non-fungible token. What does that mean?
Cannot be exchanged or interchanged.
So what is a non-fungible token?
One of one.
At the end of the day, you can say non-fungible. Why is my hat crooked?
Because you're crooked. Just talk.
So, anyways, what is a non-fungible token? Let's take the weird jargon out of here and just simply simplify it. You have tokens that live on blockchain, aka Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. They're all interchangeable. They're all the same. I send you a Bitcoin. David sends you a Bitcoin. You have two Bitcoin. They're the same. My Bitcoin, your Bitcoin, all lumped together. It's one thing.
And same thing. Exchange $1,000 of your Bitcoin to $1,000 of my Ethereum.
So the same thing. If I give you $1 and David gives you $1, you have $2. You put them in the bank account. You can't tell which one is which, right? Because they're all, fungible. So non-fungible means it has identity. It's unique. It's different. And the cool thing is that this lives on the blockchain. So NFT is essentially a token. However, it is identifiable compared to another token. So if I send an NFT and you send an NFT, they happen to be JPEG pictures, you can tell the two different if they're in the same wallet. So you can expand on that. And basically you can put anything as far as data onto a token and put it on a blockchain. So I can put my driver's license. I can put my transcripts. And instead of putting it a JPEG on the blockchain, I can put my high school transcripts on the blockchain. And if I happen to go to a different country that doesn't speak the language of the other country that I went to, if I graduated high school in, say, South Africa, and I want to go to Cambridge, and I'm at Cambridge, and they're like, we don't know how to contact your high school. What's your scores? You know what you can contact? The internet. And you know what lives on the internet? Blockchain. You know what lives on the blockchain? NFTs. There it is, baby.
Now, hey, the knuckles on that.
Your boy looking sweet. So,
very rarely are we on the same exact page,
so,
word for word. So.
At the end of the day, it just makes sense, man. Why not just make something open permissionless and open permissionless as far as access, and then you can give permission to certain people. Like, so if all of a sudden I get a push notification on my phone, like, somebody's trying to view your driver's license, and you're like, nah, I ain't approved that, nah. But let's just say you're at the bank, and they're like, hey, we need to see your driver's license. Be like, all right, cool, here, it's right here.
And imagine
scan this QR code, and it takes me there, and then I get a push notification. Would you like to let the bank view your license? We're like, sure. And it's all done on the internet. There's no servers for this. Now you do store information on servers, but essentially it can be accessed anywhere. It's not stored or held or by a company that can buy and sell your data. And for identification, this shit just makes sense. It just makes too much sense. Why do I gotta go to the Department of Motor Vehicles to get an ID, and then they tell me I need to come in with a passport that I go get from the U.S. Postal Service? And then I go to U.S. Postal Service, and they're like, "Well, we need a bill from Cox Cable." And you go to Cox Cable, and you try to like,
I hate Cox Cable.
You try to sign up for, excuse me, you try to sign up for electricity. And they're like, hey, we need a proof of identification.
Yeah.
And then
Your driver license, which I don't have.
And I'm just like, bro, here's
my code. Here's a one-time code.
And then
you look
like,
at everything I have.
You go somewhere, you're like, well, we need a copy of your marriage certificate. And you got to go down to the marriage office downtown.
Then you're like, wait, didn't I get a divorce? And then your wife's like, no, we didn't. What are you talking about?
You're all working for the same place. It's all part of the same system. It's the Nevada state government. Like, why can't you keep all of that in one spot? Why do I have to walk out of the Department of Motor Vehicles and go down to the Department of Marriage
No
Council?
vehicles.
Like, why do I have to leave the building and go there? Can't you just type in your computer?
A marriage council?
Whatever. So, like, why aren't these
Why you wanna go?
interchangeable? And so,
You trying to tell us something here?
what makes natural sense, what makes just too much sense, is that you keep all of the government identification on a network that isn't controlled by a company,
Or a centralized.
and anybody can access it, granted with your permission.
Right.
And it's all in one spot.
Robin, you have my permission.
And could you imagine you have everything via tap on your phone, and you're just like, you walk
And you
up,
can generate,
boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
and generate one-time codes, right? If you're applying for something or whatever the case. I mean, like he said, it makes too much sense. That is why we haven't done it.
Here's the thing.
Well, hold on. Something's got to be off. So they spend the next 5 years trying to figure out what's wrong. They come to the conclusion nothing is wrong. But by the time the 5 years is up, you got Japan, Australia, China, Russia, everyone else and their mom adopting this. And here comes the U.S. Bloop, 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 bloop.
You
like
know,
that sound effect?
It was a couple of years ago. It was about 2 years ago. I worked for a company, right? Worked for a company.
You don't get two stories.
state of the art company, a publicly traded company.
Name the company.
No, I can't. I'm not going to throw anybody in there.
Fair enough.
And so, well-established, publicly traded company. And when I needed to put a day off, I had to get a piece of paper and a pen and write in my days off and then put it in a box. And then they would go through this box of all these papers to approve and deny vacation. And I'm like, bro, you are a publicly traded company worth billions of dollars.
I know exactly what you're talking
And I got to sit here and fill out my vacation request and get my schedule via some old arbitrary system. Like, it's time to upgrade. And the same thing can be said when you have a modern economic powerhouse, financial powerhouse, technologically advanced.
Think about it this way.
Why is the thing streamlined?
Think about it this way. Do you remember when they introduced the chips in the debit cards?
Yeah.
And how fast did they change all the POS systems to be able to stick it in, or the wireless tap pay?
I still hate doing that, man. I'd rather swipe, bro. That thing never works, man. You put it in, and then it's like remove card. You pull it out of the card, it's like, and then you're like insert again. And
Well, it just depends on how you insert it. All right. We are done with our talking point segment of our show. We are now moving on to my favorite segment, the market analysis. All right, so let's take a gander at what the markets are looking like. We are currently sitting at $1.24 trillion in total market cap. Volume is creeping up in close to 75 billion, still pretty low. Bitcoin dominance sitting just under 46.5%. ETH dominance at 17.6%. Gas is on the up and up for ETH. By the way, Robin mentioned this on Around the Blockchain yesterday, and I'm going to mention it again. Guys, ETH 2.0 will do nothing. The merge is going to do nothing to transaction fees, guys. That comes with sharding, and that is still a long ways away. So people are out here saying ETH 2.0 is going to bring transaction fees down. That is not true, okay? That is not true. So please understand that. Now, Bitcoin, $30,200. Making up some ground. ETH sitting at 1806, which Robin got greedy, could have bought at 1700 and made $100 per ETH. ADA up 4.5%, sitting at number 6, just under BNB. We have 2 stable coins in top 5, which makes sense with the current market conditions. And USDC keeps eating away at the market dominance of Tether. I believe soon we will see USDC flip Tether. And by soon, I mean like a year and a half. And, you know, get close to $120, $140 billion in market cap. XRP coming in at number 7 at 40 cents. Solana down 13% over the last 7 days. They have that other outage last week. On top of that, one of their most popular, play to move or earn to move to earn or something like step-in. Essentially, you buy an NFT sneaker, you walk or jog or run, and you earn GMT tokens. People were making a lot of money. It was extremely popular. They had a DDoS attack, so their network was down. I think people are slow. Like, there are so many good projects, especially when this bear market does this thing, that you're going to look and say, why am I taking a risk either investing in or launching my project on Solana when I can go to Polkadot, Cardano, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, and they've had none of these problems. So I think Solana might have been the Cinderella of this bull run, but I don't think that'll happen next bull run. And then Dogecoin rounding out the top 10, sitting at 8 pennies. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin versus ETH exchange balances and what kind of trend are we seeing? So this is from April of 21, but I'm going to zoom in from May of this year, and I want you guys to pay attention to something. So over the since the beginning of June, we have seen a decline for exchange balances when it comes to ETH and Bitcoin. Blue is ETH and orange is Bitcoin. On the very last day of May, we saw ETH exchange balances a little over 20.4 million. We are currently sitting at 20.412. What was 20.5? And then Bitcoin was at 2.5 million, and now we are currently sitting at 2.466 million. That might not seem like a lot, but it is. And the trend is people are starting to take ETH and Bitcoin off exchanges once again. Typically bullish, not saying the price is going to shoot up anytime soon, but some metrics, it's good to follow. Now, this went the complete opposite way of when I had planned it this morning. So this is the Bitcoin 15-minute chart. And what I saw was a bear flag, which typically breaks to the downside. But we saw a nice move. We broke above this trend line, and now it looks like we're kind of consolidating above this trend line. If I draw it out now, please remember, this is a 15-minute chart. So patterns, stuff like that don't hold as much value, hold as much weight as if you were to do it on a longer time frame. Moving on to Elrond. So now Elrond, this is on a 4-hour time frame, okay? So before I talk about this pattern here, I want to show you a similar pattern, well, the exact opposite pattern. So here we had a bear flag. So bear flag is when you see a large move to the downside followed by a rising or ascending channel. And very, very likely chance of these breaking to the downside, which we see it did. Now we have the opposite. We have a bull flag forming on the 4-hour chart for Elrond. Nice move to the upside and a descending channel. Now, I do expect Elrond to move. And then the way we measure how much of a move, you kind of measure the length of the channel. So we're sitting at about 10%. So if we take just the middle here and we go 10%, you're looking at a $76 Elrond. If we take it from the top of the channel, 10%, you are looking at a $82 Elrond. So, of course, not financial advice, but this is a pretty, this pattern is pretty safe as far as being right in predicting the price movement. Now, it's all probabilities and statistics. Another thing I look at is the RSI. It is nowhere near overbought. It is actually closer to oversold, which is bullish. And if you throw the Bollinger Bands on and we hide the drawings to kind of get a clearer picture, we are trading close to the lower Bollinger Band. And as you can see historically, as we trade towards the lower, we come to the upper, and it's just up and down. And so being on the lower Bollinger Band and the upper Bollinger Band being around that $80 mark, I would feel confident, again, not financial advice, I would feel confident putting in either a call option or buying L1 outright and looking for either a $76 or an $82 price target to exit. I would do trail stops, take some profit at 76, and then let it ride, take some at 82. I would take out my initial times, take out 1.5x on my initial investment at 76, and then I would take the rest out at 82. And then play it to the downside, short it. And then the last one I want to talk about is Polygon Matic. This is also a 4-hour time frame on Polygon. Beautiful symmetrical triangle. You can see we are... Oh, I thought you were going to say something. Arun indicators show us we are currently moving sideways. And volatility, or the Bollinger Bands, I bet you if I throw Bollinger Bands on right now, they're starting to get tighter. Yeah, and they are. So typically when you see price movement come to the end of a channel, it's getting ready to break out. Now, where will Polygon break out? That is a question. It all depends, because this channel still has about 4 or 5 days to go before it's completed. Now, it can break out of the channel before then, but I could see it playing out towards the end of the channel. So you're looking at about June 12th, June 13th, depending on where the RSI is, where the Arun is. I think it's too early to kind of predict or think where it's going to go. But if it does move to the upside, I would take profit at 74 cents. And if it moves to the downside, I would look at probably getting back in around 50 cents. Yeah. And then this was your Bitcoin to ETH chart you wanted, Robin. You can take my face away, Rocco. Nice. So top line is going to be Bitcoin and bottom line is going to be ETH. Different price scales, both in candles. So they've been moving pretty congruently, but Bitcoin or ETH has lost some dominance to Bitcoin. So yeah, there you go.
All right, friends. We are finito.
That it?
Huh? That's it, huh?
That's it. What else do you want?
No, that's it. Yeah, and then for our members here, make sure you stay tuned. We got our members only video coming out. Make sure you visit our merch store as well. Our whales got 10% off. And then we also got some other stuff in the pipeline as well. And yeah, man, feeling good. You feeling good?
Man, today's show was good. Yeah, right. I'm going to go home and read that up, Bill, top to bottom.
Yep.
See what it's all about. All right, Mr. Producer, please roll the outro music. Friends, family, to all the new members that joined us today that found us on Around the Blockchain, welcome to the Sin City Crypto fam. We are excited to have you. We are a young, hungry, and growing channel. We'd love for you to grow with us. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button on the videos you like, and ping the bell notification. On behalf of myself, Robin, Rocco, we love you guys. We hope you enjoy the content. Until tomorrow, my friends, 10:30 in Vegas time. Peace.
I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on a island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. You say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. That she ready for the next step, whoa, not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lace. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I repay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Not nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Question marks along your brain, wonder if you should try again. Look at me inside your braces. Can't focus when we face to face. Plenty things I could go say. Name a place I go and pay at. Said she want no boo. Been around the world, plenty things I can show you. Taking flights to GA for our soul food. Gotta pay 1K for GA at my shows too. Keep it 1K with my fans even at my lows. Ooh. That's why I'm back. Show your man the things I've showed you. Tell your man how I used to hold you, but I won't hold you. Your new man is lame and all I spoke is true. Life won't smoke for you. That sadness comes with coping too. This madness come with shit that's overdue. You strong by yourself, nobody else holding you, but I ain't holding you. You the one I need when I'm off that perk or two. Hit that thing early, got you sleep like curfew. All these lame ass bitches I curve for you. These packs and pearls I burn with you. It's up now, baby, it's stuck. They can look, but they cannot. They gon' hate, so I keep that tucked. All this ice on me like pucks. I work hard, don't need no luck. Only thing I need is my Glock. When there's bread, these birds gon' fuck. When they dead, I let them rot. I ain't tryna leave you up, I said stop waiting. And I don't got time for these pussy fuckers playing. You gotta read between the lines that I am saying. Ain't got no time for no more bullshit conversations. Cause I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off.
Yeah. You end the stream first and this on the streaming one or on the streaming one first?